Oh my god, guys. We are back for the third game. I'm sorry, compLexity. I didn't quite get to appreciate the extent of your game 2 win because of so many goddamn internet problems. But we're at a solid upload right now. We haven't dropped any frames. Guys, welcome back to the GESC Thailand NA qualifiers. This is game 3, compLexity. We're able to outfarm OpTic on pretty much every single front in the last game and bring us to this third and final game. That Limp Venomancer, I am honestly very surprised that OpTic didn't try a little bit harder to shut that down. They kind of just let Limp play mid lane by himself. Like, there was an enemy hero up against Limp, but there wasn't any threat. So Limp was just playing PvE Dota the entire time, and OpTic elsewhere weren't really making any significant strides. CCNC with the Blink Dagger couldn't get enough done. That is not to say that CCNC played poorly. I think it's just the fact that OpTic, with their lane setups, couldn't do anything even though they had a Tiny with the Blink Dagger. So definitely looking for a little bit more activity in the early game from the OpTic side of things. Guys, we got a solid internet setup right now. We got, upload not fluctuating at all, dropped frames at 0%. But, yeah. Apparently, I'm coming through crystal clear on Dota TV, so it's not like my internet, it's just my connection to Twitch, it looks like. I have no idea. This is also being streamed on, like, Facebook and YouTube from the GESC split, so I'm not actually sure what's going on there. But, you know what? Enough about those problems, because hopefully we are good for right now. We have ourselves another draft. We have ourselves an interesting twist here, as the Bounty Hunter, previously banned out, at least in Game 1, I'm not sure about Game 2, is going to be the first pick for compLexity. OpTic, though, they're going to get their hands on the OpTic Classic. It's going to be the Bane, it's going to be the Sand King for 33. And 33 plays Sand King like every single game. So he's very comfortable, and OpTic are very comfortable with playing around him. Something like a 12-minute Blink Dagger or something along those lines in some of the previous games we've seen from OpTic. And of course you have the Bane. It's a perfectly reasonable hero. You could very rarely go off with that hero. And by that I mean go poorly with that hero. It's just going to warp the game just a little bit. But it's not really the picks that I'm concerned about for OpTic. Especially now that they're up against the Venomancer, it's the playstyle. You could put the Bane +1 up against that Venomancer, and Venomancer will still have a pretty good time. So you have to make sure to pressure him and actually threaten his lane. And with the Bounty Hunter with that Venomancer, things are going to get, if we have at all a game similar to Game 2, really, really bad, even quicker than in Game 2. This Venomancer with track, Venomancer with that extra scouting vision is so hard to deal with. Like, he already has means of keeping himself safe with those wards. Now that he has a kind of a tracker, spotter near him with that Bounty Hunter, you're looking at a setup where Venomancer Bounty Hunter can just open up onto whoever that mid lane is going to be, and unless that mid laner is someone along the lines of Quap or Puck's banned out, so I guess just Quap, then you're in a lot of trouble. Because of that, I kind of would like to see OpTic get a Queen of Pain over in that mid lane. It's pretty much a completely immune hero to the Bounty Hunter. You'll take that Janata hit, but then you can blink out immediately afterwards. Venomancer slows, not all that influential versus someone with a blink, and it lets you kind of team up with the Sand King and play offensively in that regard. So I would like to see that from OpTic. For the compLexity side of things, man, just do what you did in the last game. Grab that Bounty Hunter and start looking for some opportunities. Maybe not necessarily in Venomancer's lane, depending on the matchup, but for sure you can just get the jump in onto heroes like Bane, onto heroes like Sand King, who, especially that Sand King, might not get a lot of support. There's a chance we see a 33 Zai dual lane, but the chances of that aren't really going to be huge, depending on what the lane setup is going to be for compLexity. Looking at some safe laners being banned. We got Gyro, safe lane, Tiny, PL, and Jug all being banned out. So Chessie has been hit pretty hard here by that first banning wave, or I guess the second banning wave rather. But still, he has quite a few options. So the Faceless Void, I guess played by OpTic in Game 1. You could always go for that standby in the Luna. Luna Bounty Hunter is really powerful. You can also just give Chessie the Venomancer, and there's a non-zero chance that we still see that Tinker Bounty Hunter come up. Also, you're working with this vision from the Bounty Hunter as well as those wards. Picking up Hurricane Pike heroes really, really powerful. Perhaps the most notably of which is the OD. So you'll be able to just Hurricane Pike someone and then just blast them with the orbs. And with that track vision, man, you just absolutely destroy them. And then cash in afterwards, which is kind of nice. OpTic will grab the Tusk. Tusk Sand King, really, really good at pressuring enemy melee cores. So if Chessie ends up with one of those, then yeah, he might have a tough time. If that's going to be the matchup. But I don't expect that's actually going to happen from the complexity side of things. So we'll just pick up the Rubik for right now. Again, pretty standard stuff. Support on both sides with one of their cores. Gotta grab those supports ASAP, man. If you don't, you're going to be really unhappy.
5 seconds.
The Rubik has quite a few nice spells to steal in this game as well. And of course, that Bane has really, really premium spells. The Sand King with the Burrow Strike is amazing. Everything else is kind of it's okay, I guess. The Rubik currently isn't really setting up for anything, and with the Juggernaut and Gyrocopter being banned out, not sure what the Rubik can set up for, if anything at all. You don't really need a Rubik to be setting up for anything in particular. Is also a nice hero at making sure that Tusk Snowballs aren't going to be like immediate kills on your allies. Telekinesis, Fade Bolt, kind of guaranteed to hit everyone there. But as far as the defensive hero is concerned, it's just that babysitting type hero for complexity. I think Witch Doctor, probably would have been a little bit safer, but with a little bit less potential. With Rubik, you do get the guaranteed steal most of the time, at least, unless you really mess up, of that Fiend's Grip from the Bane. And if you're able to do that, then you're usually going to be pretty happy. They have a pretty good start with magic damage. OpTic, they have a complete generic template to work with. They can pick up any mid lane hero in the world, and with the Tusk, have a pretty good time. DP still a possibility. A hero that is another kind of resistant hero to the Bounty Hunter. You try to jump on her, she'll just pop those siphons and be okay, but no, it will be the Queen of Pain. With only a Telekinesis to worry about, with damage over time for the Venomancer to worry about, not really a threat. Quap Tusk is super deadly, especially when you're looking at a matchup of versus Venomancer, and to some extent the versus Bounty Hunter matchup as well in that mid lane. They don't have any mobility. We did see Venomancer pick up a Hood and a 4-staff Hurricane Pike in the last game, but that's not going to be coming up until much later in the game. Queen of Pain will be able to run a train until that point. Honestly, it's a pretty easy pickup for OpTic to make, and this is pretty much what they like to do with their draft anyway, save Pycat's hero till last. It does look like Pycat is going up against quite a bit of magic damage from that Venomancer. Fade Bolt's really annoying for Terrorblade to deal with, so perhaps not that as a pick. Definitely looking for a BKB hero. Pycat's been playing Troll. He can play Luna. Gotta watch out for the Morphling as well. The coast is going to be completely clear for OpTic since they do have the ultimate last pick. Complexity should probably be looking for that Mu hero. But the thing is, OpTic, their damage profile is mostly magic. But you know that the physical damage is going to be coming out from Pycat's last pick. So, it's going to be pretty well mixed by the draft's end. Mu's been playing a lot of Underlord. He's been playing a lot of Beastmaster. And honestly, both of those seem pretty good. Together with the Bounty Hunter, you can do quite a few obnoxious things. They already have their mid lane matchup more than likely. I wonder if Centaur is... Centaur doesn't seem all that great. You don't really get rewarded for that track gold with someone like Centaur. Unless you get a little bit more rewarded with someone like a CK. So we have ourselves a really heavy-hitting physical damage dealer now for complexity. And even though CK Bounty Hunter, it's not really like a nuts combo in lane or anything like that. The two of these heroes together can just start like this unstoppable snowball. Like CK already is that type of hero. But Bounty Hunter on top of that, with the track gold coming in, you can get a heart and you can get that armlet, and you're going to be going for armlet like every single game. You are actually just unstoppable. Like, there's no way that OpTic can stop you at all. Omni Knight is banned out. Dude, we haven't seen a single Omni Knight nor a single Razor in this match. What a weird game. But Complexity are now going to ride this CK to victory. OpTic have Burrow Strike, have the Queen of Pain. Non-zero amount of answers for the CK. As far as constantly applying pressure to him, though, it might be a little bit difficult. Dual lanes or even tri-lanes with a Bane Tusk plus Pycat's hero won't really give them an instant win setup against CK. CK kind of is a hero that loves to battle. Though in a situation where there are 3 OpTic heroes to the 2 of complexity, OpTic may be able to muscle their way in depending on who that last pick is going to be. I don't know. It seems like that there's a chance here. We see that Morphling. Also, no, there's no chance anymore. Morphling's banned out. Damn, I really would have liked to see a Morphling. Kind of weird that Elder Titan was actually ignored in all these games. It's kind of strange. But complexity still looking for that Moo hero.
10 seconds.
Their initiation is a little bit light. Maybe something like a Bat Rider can, get those fights started off on their own terms.
Dire team pick.
That's an Underlord. They'll just stick to their guns, stick to what works. Underlord is able to give CK quite a bit of extra options there. Mostly in the ability to isolate someone away from their team, because you Reality Rift, pull them away, and then you put up that pit, kind of just acting as a gigantic wall.
Remaining.
So at that point, you have a single target swarmed with your Phantasm Illusions, and the enemies just have to wade through a pit and Firestorm in order to help out. Really solid pick is OpTic. Ooh, look at their hands on the Lifestealer, the hero that was previously banned out in all those other games. Pycat Lifestealer is actually nuts here. Holy crap, is this a good hero? Oh, I think Complexity messed up. They did ban out the Morphling, and Morphling would have been a solid pick, for sure. But Lifestealer is pretty much insanity for several reasons. He's actually a hero that can man-fight CK. Magic damage from Complexity is still going to be the vast majority of their damage output, even though they do have a CK. So you just press that rage button and, well, magic damage isn't really that effective. So you're able to kind of counter that. You're going to be going up against an Underlord or a CK, but you have backup, so even in a 3v3 scenario, you'll be able to do just fine. And once you get that Radiance, man, the mischance on CK is so annoying to deal with. You have a Sand King on your team already, so you do have an access route in with the Infest Bombs if you decide to go down that route, with the Queen of Pain being able to jump in shortly after, so it's not like you're investing just 2 heroes, you're going to be jumping in with 3 at least. This is a very dangerous pick. And yeah, it looks like the internet is still working. Fingers crossed, guys. Give my internet connection your energy. But this Lifestealer pick is going to be really dangerous. On the complexity side of things, they do have the makings of a very dangerous snowball draft. The perhaps less than ideal part of this is the fact that Limp is actually going to be challenged somewhat in lane. And as a pusher, especially as an under-farmed pusher, this is not really a situation where Complexity are willing to take that hit. So they do have to work pretty hard to make sure that Limp has a good time. As opposed to last game where they didn't have to do anything and Limp just won the game. He didn't win the game. That's not fair to say to the rest of Complexity. He did a lot to win the game for his team. This time he's going up against a much tougher lane setup. Just inherently in that 1v1 matchup, but also in the rotations that are going to be coming in towards his lane. I'm excited to see what Kittrack can do on this Bounty Hunter. I don't believe I've seen him play this hero. Z-Freak Rubik is definitely a comfortable setup for the Complexity side. And Kittrack, I actually think I may have seen him play this once. I feel like he didn't do much with it, except for just snipe a couple couriers, and that might have been it. That's not bad, but you kind of want a little bit more out of your Bounty Hunter. With these heroes that can fight, though, a little bit of slow from the Bounty Hunter, thanks to the Janata and Orb of Venom, can let the Underlord just lay into the opposition. CK and Venomancer are pretty much the exact same, so definitely opportunities for the Bounty Hunter, depending on where the detection is going to land for OpTic. We'll see Pycat. Not really going to tell Complexity anything useful here. Although OpTic have been known to throw Pycat in towards the off lane instead of that safe lane quite often. Not permanently, but just for some duration of time. Other than that, CC&C is going to be going mid, and you got Zion the Tusk. Looks like a pretty standard setup for the OpTic side. Plus, we get to see this treat of the Sand King played by 33. I don't know how this dude does it, but it seems like he always gets Blink Dagger at like just a ridiculous timing. And he never dies in lane either. When he does die, he's always trading. He's like actually insane on this hero, and that's why OpTic first pick him all the time. And hey, OpTic will actually get a 3-1 bounty rune split as well. You do have KitTrack dragging this wave out. Don't do it. Don't do it, robot. Okay, good. Yeah, KitTrack's just going to mess with this top wave a lot here. Creeps will lose their aggro, but Moo looks like he will be getting a pretty much guaranteed double wave here. And that's what Underlord loves, man. Lift up onto PPD, thrown into the tower, will TP out. But damn, that was a very cost-effective telekinesis. So yeah, this tower is going to chew up this wave. And PyCat cannot pull this wave over here, the double wave that's coming in. So he can't pull it here because there's just nothing over here. There's nothing over here either, so it will be Moo going up against a matchup where, you know, maybe it's not the best situation for the Underlord. He's going up against just that one male hero. With the double wave, his Atrophy Aura is going to get a lot of fuel very quickly. So that small move from KitTrack just gave Moo a much easier time in this lane. Plus, there was no Bane because he was forced to TP out. They're going to jump onto Zai, and the telekinesis just put the Tusk in a body bag.
First blood, bag, and tag.
I did not expect the Bounty Hunter to literally repeat what I just said. You know, putting someone in a body bag is not like a super common thing to say for killing someone, but I guess I'm just on the same wavelength as KitTrack. I guess that's just happening here. That's not even like this biggest threat of this Bounty Hunter. This kind of is. Oh, what was that attack range? What was that? Ice Frog, please. He was a little bit weird in his positioning there, KitTrack, but he swoops in, grabs the courier kill. And that's going to help that Venomancer quite a bit. Again, this is a lane matchup where he's going to be under a little bit more pressure, so giving him any sort of additional aid is going to be quite nice for him. And that courier snipe, especially a courier snipe for a Queen of Pain who's up against all this dot, is going to be really, really nice. KitTrack already starting things off on a pretty good note. Chessie, though, is going to get walled off. Does have the Quelling Blade, does chop his way through, and will slip around. CK is a very fast hero, 325 base. So being able to stay on top of him after you use all your tools, not really super easy. And with Z-Freak in the area as well, you got to worry for some of these heroes, because KitTrack is also rotated in. There is a Sentry Ward, but it's all the way in the back here. They've caught Z-Freak. They think they have themselves a free kill, but they are very wrong. Zai is going to get Reality Rifted to the other side of the trees. Still hit with a 2-second stun, but 33 is threatening with that Burrow Strike, so they have to watch the positioning, otherwise that would happen. A 2-man Burrow Strike should let Zai disengage. I think they might have been able to chase after that, because they had another Reality Rift coming in. Either way, they are going to call it quits for right now. Another Fade Bolt. Did that cancel a Salve? And I don't really know if it did, but either way, that's the threat. KitTrack is under detection here. He knows about it now. Zai was doing a good job playing it cool, but the Sentry is now out of range. There is one Satchel of Dust here for Zai, but can't quite go for it. This Sand King, though, even though this lane is kind of a party zone, he is still freely getting this CS. He's level 3, level 2 Caustic Finale. That pain adds up quite a bit for the CK. You already see he does have just the last salve in his inventory. You do usually go for that armlet build, so you will maybe get a little bit of extra regen off of that helm, but the CK right now is going to be taking a pretty big hit whenever he steps up to the wave. 33 as well, just manhandling these two supports. There's not even a bounty rune spawning just yet, so this is not the right time for 33 to be doing this. He's in a lot of trouble, actually. KitTrack is a little bit slow, though. Now is able to get a little bit closer, but I don't think it's quite going to be enough. Even with the Janata hit, now he's fine. Bounty runes will just be grabbed up on all sides, and oh, maybe the race. Okay, 33 got it. In the meantime, we do have OpTic moving out with some of their other heroes, trying to pressure this Underlord. Did get that double wave, did get quite a few extra waves on top of that. So even though CS-wise, Moo's not looking all that hot, he's actually, you know, not doing terribly. It's all the experience that he's getting for free off of a lane where he is going to be somewhat pressured. And the Atrophy Aura is great and everything, but once you get your wounds opened up as the Underlord, obviously you don't have any Pit of Malice, and suddenly out of nowhere, Nightmare into the Snowball, gonna wake him up, and this is a rude awakening indeed. Moo's just trying to survive long enough so that he can get some experience, but they fortify the creep wave. They fortify the creep wave to make sure that Moo doesn't get anything off of that Firestorm. That's what I like to see. Fortification used in creative ways. That's the good stuff right there. Kitrak's still chilling in the area. There is still that one dust usage. Zai's gonna see Z-Freak, throws out some shards to wall off Z-Freak, but it doesn't actually connect to do damage. Now lifted up, thrown down to the low ground. Kitrak is right on top of Zai. There is a nightmare here, and Zai does have a fairy fire with a snowball. He is gonna set up for that snowball into Kitrak. Dust still active, wearing out soon. Kitrak is gonna get the shrine help, and it looks like Kitrak will be sniped by the shards in the end. Zai from downtown gets the kill. PPD teleporting out right now. Telekinesis, got him. And that'll kill off the Bane. A 1-for-1. Kitrak, level 2.5, is immediately going to get right back on the horse and look for 33. He has Chessie. Oh, they get the Burrow Strike out, and he has no Sandstorm. That means 33 is in a lot of trouble. 2-second stun is 2 seconds of beatdown. And that should be a kill. 33 ducks into the trees, has another Burrow Strike and a TP. I think he's actually fine. CK Reality Rift cooldown just a little bit too long. He was like 1 second off from that. A slick escape there from the Sand King, and he gets right back into that shrine, drinks it up, and he's right back into the lane. Again, this guy just doesn't die. Like, I'm not gonna lie about 33 Sand King guys. This guy's the truth. And he's been delivering so far in this game without even having a whole bunch of levels to do anything amazing. Over in the mid lane, got Limp. Going up against CCNC, and this lane has kind of been ignored by everyone. So, I mean, again, that's OpTic's method of playing with CCNC. Limp, though, in a lane where he should be getting pressured, really isn't. Third place in the net worth is slightly ahead of CCNC. But this is definitely a big opportunity for OpTic that I feel like is not really being exploited. And at this point, at least, it's really difficult to go for Limp. But, you know, a couple minutes ago, he was definitely a viable kill. He's level 7 minutes in the game. He's able to shred creep waves, and he won't ever kill off CCNC, but he's getting free gold, he's getting free experience. It is partially because the party is happening in so many other places. Another 2-second stun, landing onto 33, but with Zai here, thinking about turning around, he will Burrow Strike through Kitrak, and once again, get out to safety. All credit to compLexity, they're trying to give OpTic as good a time as possible, trying to give Chessie, rather, as good a time as possible, trying to enable this CK and his ability to fight early on. As far as safe lane heroes are concerned, CK is an absolute monster in the early stages, but just unable to get any finishing blows, or many finishing blows on any heroes that matter. And that is going to mean that the Sand King stays alive and keeps farming. Soul Ring purchasable, already with those boots, now probably the long slog for that Blink Dagger. But it's not going to be all that long. We got Pycat on the top lane in the meantime. Power treads up. Relic race starts now. compLexity have been trying to pressure this Lifestealer. The couple of Bounty Hunter rotations, but definitely need a little bit better than that. So Pycat's having an absolute free game. Even getting more gold than Chessie on this bottom lane. Again, there's not really much that Lifestealer has to fear from Underlord. It's just not a threatening lane for the Lifestealer. This Feast does so much damage. So Lifestealer is happy as can be. And if he's able to get to that Radiance mark, or even just the Relic mark, without anyone significant rotating up towards that top lane for compLexity, then OpTic Game will have all their tools. They'll have that Radiance. They'll have a Lifestealer who has, probably by that point, a Sand King vehicle, or even just a Queen of Pain vehicle to jump into. And he can actually join the fights. And with that magic immunity, there is actually no way for compLexity to stop the Lifestealer from fighting, should the Lifestealer want to get in there with the Rage. It's going to be maxed out for sure by that time. This is the time for compLexity to start pressuring this Lifestealer, but they just don't have the right tools, because he's just such a great pick. Again, just having that very quick magic immunity up against this type of draft from Call means that even if you go up there with, like, your stun, like your Telekinesis and your Chaos Bolts, like, it's not really going to be a guaranteed kill. If he sees you coming, and if you don't get that Telekinesis off, you're not getting that kill, period. Even if you throw in that Chaos Bolt, it's only level 1 at this stage. Like, 2-second stun isn't going to quite be enough to kill off this Lifestealer. OpTic are in a really good spot just to sit back and chill, and try to lean on this Lifestealer to win them the game in a little bit. But they're going to get a freebie. Kitrak is going to try to duck into the trees. He's stuck between a rock and a hard place, and he'll be dropped. Over in the mid lane, CCNC take quite a big hit from this dot from Limp. He does have a double damage rune in the bottle with a salve afterwards, so he's going to be fine, especially with the snowball coming in from Zai. Shard's going to wall in the Venomancer. CCNC going to chuck in some spell damage. Sonic Wave as well with the double damage, but he's going to go down before he gets the kill. The damage from the Venomancer was underestimated there from OpTic, and though they do get the kill, Limp is going to be okay making that trade. Although, PPD, he does have backup from PyCat here, looking to set up on a Z-Freak. Open wounds are there, and Z-Freak will go down. Looks like for free, actually. I don't think KitTrack can kill off this Bane. Too much health. This Bane is a big guy. And of course, he has some heavy muscle in the backup. So PyCat even getting accelerated a little bit more towards that Relic Radiance. KitTrack's only level 3 at this stage. Not to say that he hasn't been doing a lot. Like, he's been going all over the place. But offensively for compLexity, it really does seem like there are only so many options for them to play aggressively. Like, mid lane, you can put some damage into CCNC, but killing him off is really, really hard. Bottom lane is really the only viable spot for KitTrack to make any sort of influential move. And we've seen him try, like, 2 or 3 times now to get Chessie a little bit of blood, to get himself a little bit of assist gold and experience, but it just hasn't been working out. KitTrack's going to get randomly dusted, but there is no dire regular vision there. So he's not able to go invis, but doesn't matter. I don't... They definitely did see him. I think they saw him. Did they? Yeah, I think they saw him. They may not expect that PyCat's in here. PyCat is just off of his Relic. If he had Radiance, this would be, like, so backbreaking, but he doesn't, so this is potentially pretty risky, although they'll find a soft hero. No, they didn't actually see him. They were just playing around the trees. You would think just, like, stomping around the jungle like that, you'd be able to hear him, but that's not how this game works. They're going to teleport all the way up towards top lane where they have an angle onto Moose. Snowball coming in. With the Lifestealer popping out, Moo does not have enough mana to rift out. He'll try to TP, but the Epicenter comes in for 33. With the Burrow Strike, I think that probably would have been enough, but either way, that is going to be a nice, easy kill. PyCat grabs the last hit, and hey, look at that. He's right back in his nice, safe top lane to get that Radiance Gold. Over in the meantime, mid lane, PPD is trying to get some levels, does get jacked up, and that is a viable kill. Killing off a Bane in the middle of nowhere, though. CCNC going to jump right in. Sonic Wave. That would have killed off Z-Freak. I don't know if that's worth saving. At this point, Queen of Pain isn't getting a snowball rolling or anything like that. Sonic Wave is a very, very powerful tool at this stage. But I think using it to kill off a support is probably good enough. Maybe he didn't realize how low he was. Like, it is pure, so I don't know. I don't know. I think it would have been worth using. 33 in the meantime, looking for that Blink Dagger. What does Moo have? Gonna go for your pretty standard Moo build. Even though he did die now twice. His Underlord still on like the bottom of the cores. He's still working with a lot of diversified tank ability. Plus with his Firestorm, just able to blast through creep waves like nobody's business. Keeps OpTic from making moves, and if he is going to you know, Firestorm the wave and no one is going to defend it, then he'll just start punching the tower, or just fall back knowing that OpTic are smoked up, or however, moving around the map looking for kills elsewhere. This is kind of like the unsung hero part of Underlord, is that he kills off creep waves so quickly that you end up getting a lot of kind of map vision, or at least you get a lot of map sense, because there are just so many waves that are just immediately killed off by this Underlord. And it's kind of like a benefit that's hard to quantify, not really tangible. At least not from this perspective. Bounty Hunter pushing that 15-minute mark. Really does want to get that track going for him. Sentry dropped right on top of his head. Unfortunate for KitTrack. Oh, that was an invisibility rune. 33 does have that Blink Dagger. No Lifestealer inside just yet, as the Radiance is almost up for PyCat. But he already has the relic, so he's okay fighting. They also have the grip on the Bane, so if they find any one hero, they are going to be in a lot of trouble. And speaking of, GESC, well, he is very far to the left there, so he'll just leave, teleport down towards bottom, and continue farming. And Moo, well, he might not be as lucky, although he does have... He's fine. He's fine. Time to teleport out after dropping one more Firestorm. He also has that hood and the buckler, so actually killing off that Underlord with that type of duo is really difficult. It takes a lot of time. They probably have enough anyway, but it's just not worth that time investment.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Tower being pushed over in mid. CCNC does have the free blink out, but the Plague Wards are going to be set up here. That Nightmare will do a whole lot of nothing. This tower will be taking quite a bit of chip damage here. Kittrack dropping those tracks left and right. Doesn't quite have eyes on the Sand King, however. Now they do. This tower still is taking a beating. And still OpTic looking to get on top of this top lane. Pycat, Radiance coming out to him right now. Because they're going to find an angle to snowball in towards Z-Freak. Does have a level 4 Burrow Strike stolen, but now with the Rage, Z-Freak is actually going to steal Rage, get rid of the open wounds, and should be fine. Walrus Punch and the grip. Okay, PPD coming in with the right clicks will kill off that Rubik. Almost a clutch escape there from Z-Freak. They do snipe the Courier in the meantime. The Radiant snipe the Dire Courier in the meantime. 33, caught in the pit, now galed up. Does have a Burrow Strike through. Get back up on the high ground, but he needs some help. Because this poison and the wards are just walling off every single escape route, plus pulled back in by Chessie. They will take down Kittrack elsewhere, though. So it looks like just a whole bunch of even trades around the map. Chessie does have that armlet up. And Moo with this extra durability is more than okay, just getting into these fights. Even though he is currently lacking any sort of auras, he is going to go for the pipe next. And they'll find themselves an opportunity onto Zai. Snowball is going to be dragging him into a pretty dangerous spot right now. Moo's going to land a really dangerous Firestorm that everyone has to walk through if they want to get into this fight. Sonic Wave is going to land on 2, but they've already lost Zai. And now Pycat, he does not have the Radiance up. Where's the Radiance? I think the Courier got sniped with the Radiance recipe on it. Epicenter is going to be used in the background, though. Epicenter destroying Moo. But we will have that hood still. Everyone else is just trying to disengage away and hide. The Sting will kill off the Sand King up towards the top lane. Moo is just beating the hell out of everyone, including this Bane. Brain Sap, not going to do it, dude. And Moo is just a gigantic tank. Ends up killing 4 from OpTic. I did not realize that that Courier had the Radiance on it. A day and night difference between Lifestealer with Relic and Lifestealer with Radiance. He would have actually been able to maybe even get some additional kills there. He was in that fight for a long time. That Radiance damage adds up. Easily hundreds of magical damage to everyone. CCNC does get out of there, but that CK really refusing to go down there. Of course, the Underlord doing the same, and at this point, he's going to have that pipe. The Epicenter, the Scream of Pain from the Quap, all these mixed damage tools. Yeah, we'll run into just this wall that is Moo. Gotta assume there were a couple of tracks thrown in there as well from Kittrack. Hard to keep track of that stuff. Because Ice Frog refuses to give me a way to measure tracks. Can't do it. It's not... Technology isn't there yet, unfortunately. I'll give Kittrack the credit for that fight because he killed off the Radiance on the Courier, I assume. And that actually did a lot for helping compLexity to get the lead there. Looking for Zai now. He does have the Snowball. Kittrack gonna jump on him with a Janata. Just doing a little bit of damage. Moo. Pit just on the edge. He's outside the circle. What was that range? He was over here, but he was still... Okay. Okay, game. The game is just loving compLexity a little bit too much here. They'll take the free kill, get the tower. Well, they do lose a tower of their own. Pycat, does he have a Radiance now? He finally does. It might be a little bit too little too late, though, because compLexity are starting to work with this Death Ball setup. Echo Saber, Armlet, now going for a Blink Dagger, probably into a Heart for the CK. And they're all just going to Uber out of there. You know, everyone says Uber out of there. We should probably give some love to all the other companies. They're just going to lift out of there. There you go. We're being progressive here, guys. We're not showing any favoritism here. Why would we do that? I don't know any other names of businesses that do that, though, so that's all I got. I can't do any more. I don't use... I'm not going to endorse any services unless they want to endorse me, guys. I'm open for it.
I'll take your tribute.
Underlord is brought to you by... We got Pipe. He's going to go for Baby Guardian Greaves. Perhaps just going to go for that Crimson. The Pipe is definitely the big one, though. Having that Insight Aura and the magical barrier up against this OpTic squad is a big deal. Limp. He's got a little bit of extra magic resistance himself. He's level 16 with that hood and 21 hundo in the bank. And OpTic do finally have this Radiance. They still have this Sand King. Really just rearing to go. And CCNC is awfully close to that Orchid. So though 5k behind, OpTic still have easily enough to take engagements. And if they do get into an engagement, it is possible that it goes their way. The problem is that they don't really have much in the way of objective taking. This draft of OpTic, though they do have a medallion, doesn't really easily clear out Roche nor towers. Kitrak gonna spy Zai now as the Gale does go out. Zai taking so much damage as Limp just shuffles right over him. Snowball is gonna buy some time, but for sure Zai is not long for this world. Easy kill, easy track. And OpTic will dodge the fight. I don't know, man. It's getting to a point where, like, a Blink Epicenter, a Sonic Wave, up against all this magic resistance, all these barriers, might not be good enough to just instantly kill off a handful of these heroes. Like, keep in mind, there's also this Rubik on the complexity side, though he is going with the offensive null field for right now. If he does switch to defense, then OpTic's damage output is going to be absolutely plummeting. Because this Lifestealer build, especially nowadays with this Radiant Solar Crest, is really just about durability and doing magic damage, as opposed to the old Desolator type build for Lifestealer, which otherwise would have just torn right through some of these heroes. Of course, the cost is, with that Desolator build, is that you farm a lot slower, but you take objectives a lot faster. There are definitely advantages, disadvantages going both ways. The grip goes off onto the Venomancer. PPD uses the full grip, and it does, yeah, it does 200 damage. That seems about right. Those numbers seem fair. Underlord, though, gonna get jumped elsewhere. So OpTic, we'll call it using the grip to kill off Moo, because that's exactly what happened. Use the grip, kill off Moo. And that is gonna be a very quick death on that Underlord. Dark Lift. That's a good one. Okay, yeah. Credit to Twitch chat. There you go. CCNC now with Pycat Payload. Unfortunately, they're in the wrong neighborhood. There is nobody here. The Pycat will just have to pop out. Gotta make sure to keep farming on this Radiance Lifestealer. If you get this build, then just sit in a friendly the entire time. You're wasting so much farm potential. Complexity. They're kind of grouping up over in the mid lane. They don't really see all that much. And they see now 2 heroes in this bottom lane. I think they were also able to see 33, so they know that this bottom lane is in fact being pushed, but they can't do much about it. Honestly, neither side has a ton of objective-taking power. Complexity will go for Roche, but this isn't really going to be super quick. OpTic, if they start moving right now, if they have an inkling, they can stop this, crash this, do anything to slow this down. They're not even heading in that direction, though. Roshan will be cleaned up, and Complexity, their base, is in a little bit of trouble right now, though Limp is going to arrive. Gale, I think that did land. Onto that Quap. Chessie's now got his double life. And OpTic, they're kind of all just stuck here. They can't go in for high ground. They don't push towers. So they have to fall back, and the next fight for Complexity is going to be pretty free. The vision for OpTic is very, very aggressively placed around this bottom half of the map. There's, I guess, this obs, but they definitely did not see them go into that Roche pit. And now with this build on the CK, he's quite the assassin. Just blink in Reality Rift or Phantasm blink in Reality Rift, and you just destroy anyone. Unless you just miss all your attacks because of Pycat's build, which is a possibility, I suppose. Bottom lane, OpTic, we're going to jump in. We'll find himself a Venomancer. He does have a lot of durability. Grip is there, but the backup's coming in spades. Venomancer is going to go down without casting anything, but Chessie is going to put PPD in a grave. And now they're looking for the Sand King. He is under full vision right now. Gets a Burrow Strike. Needs a blink out, but no, it's not going to happen. He's got the urn on him. Chessie's going to blink forward, and what the hell is that damage? That was a shuriken. Okay, snuck that one in. Killed off 33. They do lose their Venomancer, and that is a very, very costly loss there for complexity, just money-wise. This Venomancer is actually on top of the net worth chart. But rotating around, getting those track kills, ultimately is going to be, not all that bad of a loss for complexity. This is going to be a lot of valuable farm time for Pycat in the meantime. I mean, this build is great and everything, but it's really once you get this third item where Lifestealer becomes not only just a magical burn threat from the Radiance, but also a relevant physical right-clicker. Right now, he is kind of very reliant on getting on top of the right target, i.e. like Underlord with Feast. Get another item and he can go on to pretty much anyone. Uh-oh. No, robot, no!
Dire's courier has been killed.
Well, you can't win them all, little courier. That's the third death, or third pick, let's say, of Kitrak the Bounty Hunter.
Fit for a queen.
5k advantage. Just take an overarching look at some of these items and levels. I got a Yule Scepter on this Rubik with that Blink Dagger. I have a feeling that he's been cashing in really hard off of those tracks. The BKB is on Chessie. Limp's just building up an AC, and we do have the Guardian Greaves pretty much up on Moo. On the other end, Orchids, BKB for CCNC. And you need that magic immunity. I feel like maybe even Veil BKB may have been a little bit better there. There's a lot of durability coming up on OpTic as well, but they are kind of suffering in the fact that they don't have these tracks to just catapult these heroes' farm. Why catapult farm when you can trebuchet their farm? Tower is going to be beaten down. Chessie with his double life. Not going to be denied. He's going to go right at the high ground, and if he sees anyone, there's a Blink Dagger waiting. Towers will cancel it. He phantasms, and oh, there's some illusions. Top lane is being pushed in the meantime, however. Fortification should be used on both ends, and this tower is actually taking quite the beating. Over in top lane, they do have the Underlord, so they'll take the racks, get ready to teleport up towards top, and it looks like they'll drive everyone from OpTic back after having taken the melee racks. Bottom lane, 33 is still here. Sand King tower damage is not something to be scared of, however. And the Underlord is going to give complexity the ability to take racks and defend their own. Ultimately, complexity don't really lose all that much, and they'll find CCNC and just beat the hell out of him. Blink out, but the urn is still ticking. Even the creep's getting in on it. Wand charges. He's going to live at 10 HP. PPD is going to Nightmare for just a little bit of extra safety, though that was unneeded. Now they do have their eyes onto this Bane. He's going to try to teleport out. They can't get eyes on him. And he will escape, so will CCNC.
Radiant's middle tower is under
Clutch
attack.
escapes from OpTic. Definitely much needed after that, let's say, failure of a tower race. And complexity, they still have that Aegis on CK for not that long. Looks like it'll probably just be a full restore, but they have an angle on CCNC. 2 seconds done. With the reality, if they're going to dice him to bits. Well, there's your escape, CCNC. I hope you did something with it. Mid lane is going to be shoved in one more time. Radiance, Lifestealer, in the Dragon. What is this? Neutral creep stacked. Well, that's Bane. I was like, I've never seen this icon before. It's Bane. It's like the top of his head. And they're going to jump right in to said hero. Lifestealer's just watching, man. I'm helping with the burn. Chessie with his Phantasm is going to lose that Aegis. Reclaimed. No split push here. There is no Rubik here either, but Chessie's going to jump right in. Snowball baited out, and he's going to land into the Pit of Malice, where the Reality Rift is going to slaughter him. Here comes the Epicenter. Will do a lot of damage onto this Venomancer, but Force Staffed out does get the ultimate off before Limp goes down, and he will go down. Moo's durability will let him and Chessie escape. The Walrus Punch is going to keep Z-Freak in the fight. Here comes the Lift Lord. Dark Lift coming in and bringing everyone from complexity out. The affirmative is called, and hell, they even got PPD with the poison damage. Pretty good. Underlord's ultimate is situationally really, really good. And it just so happens that they end up being in one of those situations. Now, of course, that is going to be a defense here from OpTic. But they still, compLexity, get a bucket load of kills, including a couple buybacks, and they'll find PieCat. He is going to have a little bit of safety from the snowball. CCNC with the BKB is going to jump right in, but damage into Chessie is almost irrelevant right now. He's going to jump right in towards Zai. 33 getting even quite a bit of cover. Chessie, though, still with the BKB, is just going to town into whoever he can find. That's going to be the Sand King as the reality... What was that reality rift? He blinked out, but the reality rift still worked. I don't know, some weird triangle stuff going on there with the reality rift, but they end up killing a handful of additional heroes, compLexity. And still there is no split push going on right now from OpTic. Somehow there's a tier 1 in the mid lane still alive, don't ask why. Phantasm, how long are these illusions? Not long for life. But they will, however, not quite find CCNC. The creep wave, it's not like split push, but they're just not in a good spot for compLexity to immediately go in. At this stage, that's not really their goal. It should be just to get these picks, get these shrines, wait for Roche. Up to a minute. Because OpTic are just losing every single one of these fights. They're being initiated upon. This Blink Dagger on Chessie is doing some serious work. And at this point, level 20 on the CK. Reality Rift pierces spell immunity talent. So, Lifestealer, have fun with that one, man. And to some extent, the Queen of Pain as well. Some AC on the Venomancer. He's going to go for some magic immunity himself. And OpTic don't have enough damage to 100 to 0 a Venomancer before he gets that ultimate off. So I feel like for Limp, unless he's going to get gripped and that's not cancelled, he's going to be able to get his Nova off very, very frequently in these fights. Just jam that button every single time, man. If you get it off on just 2 heroes and then go down, I mean, shit, you're still doing a lot of damage. CNC. How did he... Did they smoke when CCNC was tracked? Did that happen? Did that just happen? I think it did happen. So that shouldn't be that much of a surprise for compLexity to see this one coming. They do have Moo waiting on the high ground. It's over, Anakin. Oh, no, they have the high ground now. Rubik's going to get jumped in on. Dual Scepter going to buy him just a precious second, but he will go down off of the back line. Chessie gets put to sleep. DPD getting into the position with the grip, but here comes the Dark Lift. What grip? I don't see a grip. I wonder if you could... Could you dodge? Could you dodge the teleport from Dark Rift with Phantasm? I don't know if you can. It seems like a possibility, but they do kill off the Rubik. Man, they got him. And now the compLexity side, I think they actually did see like these wards come up, so they will know that they're there. We'll be able to clean them out. And losing a Rubik in that situation is whatever. You don't need to worry about it. Even though he's actually worth quite a lot. Like, holy crap, Boots of Travel, Blink Dagger, Yules. I think this energy booster was Arcane Boots. I'm not really sure what this energy booster is doing here now. It's not really super useful, but still, Rubik is working with some serious cash right now. He's actually nipping at the heels of the Sand King's farm, which is impressive. The Sand King's building up all this durability into a 4-staff. You don't really have many options here as 33 Sand King as far as itemization is concerned. You got to go with the same old thing. We'll go straight into that Roche pit. At this point, Chessie with that heart, armlet perpetually turned on. That's 4,700 HP worth of Horseman. And of course, he's got a couple of horse buddies with that Phantasm, so he probably is going to grab the cheese and Aegis for the CK cheese on Limp. There you go. I think that was Roche 2, right? That wasn't a shard Roche? Yeah, there's no shard there. Chessie is an absolute monster, though. And he's been able to freely initiate. It is kind of aggressive for him to put his 10-second BKB charge in his backpack, though. The control on OpTic, like, really isn't that high, so BKB is a nice item for sure, but isn't an absolute necessity for being able to take a half-decent fight as Chessie, especially if you Phantasm, Blink, Reality Rift. There's not enough fast control to counter that on OpTic. Like, it just can't be done. Oh, Zai. 2-second stun. Oh, he does have the Ghost Scepter. Does have a blink out. He will live this time. But just a small taste of what's to come. They do get the Orchid onto the CK, but he has Heart. So he just turns off the Armlet, waits a little bit, and soon the Heart is just gonna skyrocket him to full HP. They get the lift up on a CC&C. Chaos Bolt is there with the Reality Rift, and the Burrow Strike can interrupt it a little bit. Chessie, without that magic immunity, struggling to find a target, though. He will get his claws on his 33, kill him off, pull back the Queen of Pain, kill her off as well, and Pycat trying desperately to go after Limp, but gets hit with a 3-second bolt, and just getting the shit beaten out of him right now, surrounded by CK illusions. Another Burrow Strike can give him a little space, but it's not quite enough. A Burrow Strike stolen by Z-Freak now is going to return onto 3, as Chessie still has that Aegis. They're going to snowball out of the pit, right on top of the Rubik, but Chessie's going to give chase with a 4-second stun. Just go to work. He's not dying. No one's doing enough damage to the CK, let alone the full HP Underlord. OpTic are spending buybacks. They're losing every single one of their heroes. GG is called. Chessie, untouchable. Moo, Limp. I guess Limp does use that cheese, but Moo took literally no damage that entire fight. And compLexity, off of crushing initiation, time and time and time again, they are able to beat down OpTic and find themselves in the finals now of the GESC Thailand NA qualifiers. Best of 5 versus VGJ Storm, guys. That's what we're looking at. compLexity going up against VGJ Storm. For OpTic, I don't know. It definitely seemed like this mid lane scenario was a little bit of a problem. The Queen of Pain, though she did have a lane where it wasn't like fun or anything like that, it was still like a 1v1 matchup. Got thoroughly outclassed by what Limp was able to do. Take a quick look. Yeah, 11,000 damage versus the 24,000 damage. GPM 471 versus 663. CC&C definitely seemed like he was having quite a few issues in that lane, and that courier snipe on the Radiance just kind of set things off on the right note for compLexity, being able to get that advantage in these fights and just keep taking those fights with this durability of the CK, just naturally having an Armlet and a Heart. Like, that's a lot of health to grind through as OpTic, and there's not enough damage output, especially once this pipe comes up on the Underlord. You get that Insight aura going off. I gotta assume Z-Freak had his no field on defensive mode from time to time in that engagement, so suddenly for OpTic, like, who's doing the damage? The AC Lifestealer can kill off one guy, but we could see at the end of it, he was trying to go for the Venomancer, who has an Assault Cuirass. You can't really go for the CK, because he has like 5,000 HP. You're doing a lot of damage with Feast, don't get me wrong, but like at a certain point, OpTic just ran out of damage. It definitely seemed like they had a timing off of that Radiance, and it could have worked out. But they just ran into that situation where they didn't have Radiance in that fight, because it got sniped earlier by the Courier, and that was just the end of it. Definitely, they needed another source of damage. I think that's where the Queen of Pain was supposed to pick up a little bit, but they just way too much durability from compLexity, and to some extent, compLexity trying something a little bit new. Limp's Venomancer, man, seems to work out like every single time. So in the next best of 5 up against Storm, I would expect this to be a little bit of priority for compLexity. This isn't, however, compLexity going for their Chen into timing push type of draft. They're trying to go for a couple of these new strats, still very aggressive, but in a different style, with this snowball, with being able to fight and scale into the late game. compLexity definitely trying to find their footing, and honestly, judging by the performance of this game, seems like they have another way to go, another tool in the box. Still, it's going to be a best of 5 up against VGJ Storm, who have been looking absolutely untouchable. And VGJ Storm did 2-0 compLexity in the first round of these qualifiers, so take that for what it's worth. That, guys, is going to be happening tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You guys can do the time conversions yourself, because I'm not going to do that for you. Hell no. But, guys, we are done for the day. Praise Jeebus, the internet held for this entire game. Again, guys, you have my sincerest apologies. I don't know why that shit went down in the second game, but hopefully, we're going to not have any of those problems from here on out. Guys, you don't want to miss the finals for sure. compLexity versus VGJ Storm will be again tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be sure to tune in again then. I'm Mike Loris. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.